Hi dear students, hope you are well and staying safe at home. Um, we are going to continue for pages 15 to 18. Um, so the first line is actually funny, but yeah, just I put as a note. Sun is the greatest provider of energy on the earth. Everyone knows that. But this is very important to develop renewable energy resource by human. Human use sun to find one way to get energy, to produce energy which is renewable and will not be finished. So these resources can be divided to many. We learned before and I explained for more details in previous session. One is solar energy, which can be taken from sun, biomass and biogas, which can be taken from the waste of animal or uh, waste of plants, which can be stored in a big container, and after a long time the wasted animal or plants would produce methane. The methane gas, or compressing the methane gas to the liquid form, then can be useful for as a fuel. Another one is wind power and hydroelectric power, geothermal energy. Hydroelectric power is um, using the hydro means water, using the water power to get energy or electricity. Geothermal energy is getting energy or thermal energy actually from from inside of the earth. Humans are able to go to inside of the earth, not exactly in the center of the earth, but they can move inside the land until a certain distance to get thermal energy. And also wave power and tidal barrier, which related to the wave of sea or ocean. So those power are useful to producing electricity or energy. These are just a summary for renewable energy, but one of the modern and very um, what we call very good renewable energy resource is hydrogen fuel. Okay, hydrogen fuel is renewable because it can be produced again and again. There is a cycle for using a hydrogen gas, and it would not be finished easy because the waste from using hydrogen gas again can be used as an input. The output can be used as an input in another cycle. Then I will explain you next slide. But please look at this table on your book, table 1.3. There are many advantages and disadvantages uh, for hydrogen fuel. I leave this section because it can be your self-study, and it's a clear part, and we can move to this session, the mechanism of uh, hydrogen fuel cell. Uh, first, First step can be here, the hydrogen gas. The hydrogen gas can be provided by scientists or engineers So hydrogen fuel, when it injected to the system, to this hydrogen cell, the system cell, the hydrogen first faced with anode. What is anode? Anode is an electrode, is like a piece of metal, something like that. Is an electrode where absorb the negative ions. Okay, they absorb the negative ions. So after negative ion absorb on anode side, anode, okay, this section, so it would produce protons or hydrogen with uh, plus charge, which called positive ions, or say cations. Okay, so these electron which produce from the reaction between anodes, this part, and the fuel hydrogen. Okay, after the reaction fuel hydrogen to the anode, on the surface of the anode, we will get electrons. Electrons can be collected as a current of the electron in the wire, as electron flows. The electron flows actually is electricity. The electricity that we can use to for many things, for electric car vehicles, or metro, or trains, or lights for lightning. So these electricity can be used, but after the end of these electron flows, so can be moved in this part, cathode. Okay, in section of the cathode, in this section, there is another input from air. Okay, air can be moved inside, can be entered. It's another input. We learned that there is an oxygen, O2, in the air. The oxygen from air can react with these electrons from the end of the wire, end of the electricity. Okay, electron flows can spray the electron in this section, cathode. What is cathode? Cathode is the electrode, is the piece of the electric piece, okay, electrode, where absorb the positive ion. So cotton can absorb the positive, can absorb positive ion. So this is the positive, so can absorb the ions. Okay, this ion can be here. So the oxygen react with the electrons. Okay, the electrons here. After the oxygen from air reacts with the electrons, so we will get the oxygen O2. Oxygen molecule change to the oxygen anion. Oxygen anion has two negative charge. That means -2, because each what we call oxygen can receive 2, and then oxygen will convert to the oxygen O2. Okay, an ion form. The rest of oxygen can be leave here, unused gases out. Okay, so from the air we have nitrogen. We learned before the nitrogen gas. We have oxygen, we have argon, and many other gases. The unused gas can be leave here. Only the oxygen from air will react with the electrons. Okay, electrons flow. Then here we have oxygen anion, okay, with -2. This oxygen will react with the hydrogen before left. Okay, the hydrogen left here. The first hydrogen gas produce the electrons, and the left hydrogen positive form, the cation. The oxygen react with the hydrogen cation, then produce the water. Okay, this is here, it's the end of the process. Oxygen anion react with the hydrogen cation, 1 plus, then they will produce water. The water can leave as an output. Okay, can leave the hydrogen cell as a output. So this is a cycle. Okay, that's why we say that hydrogen fuel cell, it's a renewable energy. Okay, hydrogen is a renewable. After they use, then the hydrogen can be here again. It's like a cycle. And but however, there is some advantages and disadvantages for these. Hydrogen gas is expensive, and transferring the hydrogen cylinders are also expensive for transportation, and many other advantages and disadvantages. Please have a memorization on the advantages and disadvantages, and some part of your book which you need to read and memorize. So thank you so much. This chapter has been finished, and the rest of the part, please have a self-study by yourself. But I try to make clear some part which is not clear actually. I try to make it understandable. And please leave a comment down as your attendance, and we will move on chapter 2 next time. Thank you so much.